There we go. Now the mic is live too. Just doing a sound check. Hello, everybody. All right. So picking up where I left off yesterday. And I have changed outfits while I was getting set up. Hey, Jody. Congrats on finishing your Merge Dragons event. Well done. Alright. So, Speak to Living Way is the first thing I need to do now that I've got the quest that I was on, which is A Taste of the Moon. So let's go find that little rabbit. Let's see. We're all the way over in one of the side areas. I guess I can just go off the edge. Whee! You're welcome. Alright, so, heading over here. Gonna go looking for our buddy. All sorts of little rabbit friends around here. Ooh. Well, there's some folks to avoid right now. I don't want to tangle with any mobs just at the moment. Living Way says, welcome to the Curatorium. Here we create prototypes of the various sundries required by our soon-to-be passengers. Allow me to introduce the head of foodstuff production. Cooking Way! Pleasure to meet you all! Our work has involved no small amount of trial and error, but after many, many cycles of painstaking labor, I dare say we have created the finest cuisine our guests could ask for. I've learned all about the essential nutrients for a healthy and balanced diet from the reference materials we received. Why, I've practically worn the words from those invaluable pages. Naturally, we've also considered ease of growth and production. We will not want for ingredients. I must insist you try some. We have fresh stocked recently recently prepared on account of, well, because we just woke up and we're all quite famished. Living Way says, hop along the platforms here and you'll find a storage unit full to bursting with delectable delights. Help yourself to anything you like. All right. So, up these platforms, I guess. Woo! Big steps. Oh. Up along. Whoops, I missed it. I'm horrible with these steps. Oh, jumped a little too soon. There we go. That one I made. And over here. Blasting Way. That's a name. What's he say? Well, here's a conundrum. I vote Philosopher's Carrots. They'll keep us light. Okay. No, Iron Carrots first. We won't get any with blah. Blasting Way says, this doesn't require a debate. We have work to do. Quit dragging your feet and get to it. Okay. Well, let's check out the storage crate. That's a lot of carrots. You open the storage unit and find a rainbow-colored assortment of carrots. Which will I choose? The unassuming orange, the peculiar-looking blue, the vibrant yellow, the ominous crimson, or take a moment to consider. Ooh. Well, I'm gonna go with the blue one. Blue variety is strangely supple to the touch and smells vaguely of mint. Its excessive length and girth only adds to the dubious of this so-called carrot. I don't think I'm gonna eat that one. Let's check out what it says about the other ones. Unassuming orange one. From frond to tip, no scratches or blemishes mar this immaculate specimen. Nevertheless, if not for its excessive length and girth, one might think it was an ordinary carrot. No, we won't eat that one yet. Let's check out the next one. Let's see. Vibrant yellow? While it has no particular smell to speak of, the yellow variant is unusually light and springy. These qualities, together with its excessive length and girth, would lead anyone to question whether it's indeed a carrot. Thanks, Phil. How you doing today? And let's check out that last one. What's that say about it? The ominous crimson carrot. Soft texture and redolent aroma of this crimson carrot belie its staggering weight. The excessive length and girth only compound the mystery, leaving you perplexed as to the nature of this carrot. I've done the blue one before. Let's try this red one. I'm on a red mage. A red one sounds like a plan. On second thought, you'll like to simply take an obscenely large carrot for now. Due to its bizarre qualities, it would be prudent to ask Cookingway whether it's safe to eat first. Okay, so they're not going to have me eat the red one after all. Okay. Well, let's go back to Cookingway. Go down here. Hi, Cookingway. So, did any of our selections set your mouth to watering? Obscenely large carrot. There we go. Hand that on over. Ah, yes, a fine choice. One of my personal favorites, actually. Please, dig in. I'm eager to hear what you think. Eat the obscenely large carrot. Alright. With great trepidation, you take a bite out of the carrot. The carrot is oddly tender, but as you begin to chew, a rich aroma fills your nostrils. A newfound vigor begins welling within you. The rumbling of your stomach, however, suggests it may simply be indigestion. Okay. Let's talk to Cookingway again. Cookingway says, "What did you think? Unlike anything you've ever tasted, yes?" The iron carrot can be a bit difficult to digest, but the boost to endurance it promises makes it the perfect meal before a day of heavy lifting. We have plenty of other varieties too. Bleeding carrots to improve blood flow, dream carrots to help with sleep. So you see, we have a carrot for every occasion. And what am I going to say? These carrots are extraordinary. Or, but what if I don't like carrots? Or, I can certainly see demand for this in Charlayan. Let's say, but what if I don't like carrots? Livingway says, "You don't like carrots? Oh, but you must mean you don't like them served in this fashion. Worry not, we have pureed versions on hand if you haven't the time to chew." Yashella says, "I take it you two have had a wide assortment of carrots to choose from and not else." Yashella says, "If I may ask, what exactly did these collaborators share with you about cuisine in Anatheris? Surely you are aware we have an abundance of dishes and foods you could emulate?" Livingway says, "Of course we are. But, well, it was only quite recently that we established contact. Even holding a conversation was a struggle at first. So imagine our surprise when they sent a mountain of books and documents with no clear instructions. The sheer amount of information was overwhelming. If it wasn't for the encyclopedia I found, we would have been at a loss where to begin. And so we decided, rather than divide our resources to prepare a variety of middling and potentially unsatisfying meals, it would be more efficient to devote our efforts to the production of a single perfect food. Tancred says, "That's all well and good, but man cannot live on raw carrots alone. Have you considered cooking them?" Cookingway says, "You mean steaming, boiling, roasting, and the like? I suppose we could prepare the carrots in other ways. But our primary concern was efficiency. And what's more efficient than sinking your teeth into a carrot fresh from production?" Tancred says, "A rather strange approach to take for one named Cooking Way, isn't it?" Cooking Way says, "Well, technically speaking, Cooking Way isn't my given name. When first created, we were all named in the old tongue, you know, that otherwise impenetrable parlance the Watcher speaks. After we received a great tome of words, a dictionary that is, from our collaborators, we learned your language. Adverbs, gerunds, present continuous verb conjugations, you know, just the basics. Then we found the terms related to our given tasks and used them to form new names. Aren't they helpful?" Tancred says, "No, not really, but it does explain a great deal." Urianger says, "Wherefore dost thou, thy kind, deem such a change necessary?" Cookingway says, "When the rest of your people arrive, we want to be certain they understand immediately what each of us does. You'd never be able to pronounce our original names anyway." Urianger says, "I see." Ishtola says, "I hope our critiques, such as they are, were helpful to you. Though, if you should decide to preserve flora and fauna from Atheris as well, we would be able to offer the passengers a more balanced diet." Ishtola says, "Until such a day, one I pray comes sooner than later, it would appear there is naught but carrots on the menu." And they're giving us purple carrot juice as a quest reward. Alright. Living Way says, "Living Way is eager to show you more of the moon's wonders." Alright. Living Way says, "I think we've had our fill of carrots. For now, let's move on to other necessities, shall we? Our clothing production is sure to impress. This way." Oh, goodness. Better save my, Yeah, okay, I do have it saved. Alright, let's go. Oh, boy. Alright, let's go. Oh, I aggroed something. We'll outpace it. Oh, this, and... there we go. Found Living Way again. Ishtola says, "Do you suppose the clothes they prepared will be as grossly oversized as the carrots?" Tancred says it's hardly sun-silk tapestries, but perhaps we'll be pleasantly surprised. And Arianje says, garments born of the heavens, crafted with methods ancient and forgotten, dress befitting we who walk in shade, stewards of the esoteric. Alright. Living Way. Living Way says, here we are, the apparel production station. We've chosen to employ more traditional methods for this task, creation magics. Heidelin, in her infinite wisdom, blessed us with the self-same affinity for magic her people possessed. We have other amazing talents, of course, and I know you're dying to hear about them, but I will regale you with the details another time. That said, we did run into a spot of trouble at first. Our magic alone was not sufficient to see our work done. In the end, we discovered crystallized aether was a wonderful catalyst that could provide us with the extra viz we needed. Y'shtola says, my, how resourceful. Living Way says, ah, the sweet sound of recognition. You will also be impressed to hear we've read all about your habit of changing attire to match your chosen profession, for the sake of efficiency, I presume. This has also been taken into account with our designs. But why take my word for it when you can simply try on our clothes? Make yourselves known to the workers, and they will see to the rest. Okie dokie. Ooh! 220,000 dragon power. Well done, Jody. Nice. Alright, so gotta go talk to somebody here. Speak with the restless Loperet. Alright, let's go find him. Or her. Up there. Alright, where's the stairs? Over here. Whoops. And there we go. Talk to this little fella. Or gal. Ah, it's you. One of the visitors from Aetheris. Goodness me, Mapagway wasn't kidding. You really are smaller than the Watcher. Oh, right. You're here to try on a set of clothes, right? Yes? What would you have me fashion for you today? Alright, so what'll I say? An outfit that embodies my bloodlust? Something simple yet functional? Or a fashionable and refined ensemble? I think something that embodies my bloodlust is probably the way to go. Embodies your... what? Oh, hi there, Gleek. Ahem! This will only take a moment. Gleek being scary in the background there. Well, this is an outfit. Alright, I've got my potato sack. And assorted other bits. Heh. Definitely looks like somebody leveling up. Alright, the Restless Loperet says, there we are, all finished. A perfect fit, if I do say so myself. I would be lying if I said I understand what bloodlust is, but I assume it's something you enjoy. I've made certain the clothes are flexible yet sturdy enough to endure. Whatever it is you plan to be doing while wearing them. I look like a ragamuffin. Loperet says, would you look at that? Speechless. And there I thought you may not like it. If you've a mind to try something else, why not speak with my fellow artisans? I'm sure they'd be happy to oblige. You must continue wearing these garments in order to progress. Oh, good lord. You'll change back to your normal garments if you move too far away. Look to your map for the garment change area of effect. Speak with a restless Loperit to restore or prolong the garment change. Mm-hmm. I love that outfit, Gleep. Very nice. Alright, so let's go find the next one to talk to. Without getting jumped. Good lord, look at this outfit. Somebody flying around up there. Okay, so let's get up the... Oh, gee. Gee willikers. That thing's gonna attack me, I betcha. Aw, that's sweet. Alright. So here we are at the Jubilant Loperit. No one said you were coming, or how can I help you? You wish to try my clothes? Really? Of course, it would be my honor. Did you have anything in mind? What am I gonna say? Got anything with a little more flair? I'm looking for clothes with an altogether different design or surprise me. I'm scared of what the rabbits will do if I say any of these, to be honest with you. The very notion of any of their designs. I'm looking for clothes with an altogether different design, let's say that. And the Jubilant Loperit says, I think I can handle that. Let's see. This should do. Okie dokie then. And Jubilant Loperit says, some of my best work yet. You're a strange one, aren't you? I honestly wasn't sure what to do when you didn't ask for anything specific. I take my work seriously, however, and am never one to disappoint. The ensemble is a blend of concepts from myriad professions, all-purpose attire for the modern woman of Aetheris. I was worried how the concept would turn out when put to the proof, but it looks stunning on you. Won't you go and show Livingway? I'm sure she's eager to see what we've come up with. You must continue wearing these garments in order to progress. You'll change back to your normal garments if you move too far away, blah blah blah. Speak with the Jubilant Loperit to restore or prolong the garment change. Yada yada. Yeah. This is something else. Alright, let's go find Livingway. There we go, there's Livingway. Livingway says, my, don't we look splendid? The result of much trial and error, but I know quality work when I see it. Shh. You needn't speak. I can see your adoration for the moon and the Loperits in your eyes. No doubt your friends feel the same having sampled our creations. Oh goodness. What the what? Thancred says, sorry to have kept you waiting. Nishtala says they insisted we sample all their concepts or we returned. Oriange, verily, 'tis an ensemble most becoming. Oh, of course he'd love it. Scions are like, huh? Ingrid says, I think it's past time we returned these clothes. And yes, Dal is awesome indeed. Living Way says, I was so confident our garments would meet with your approval. Oh, sigh. Whatever are we doing wrong? The Watcher taught us that in his time everyone wore the same robes. To do otherwise was against social etiquette. We thought we could appeal to modern taste by tailoring the robes to specific professions, but Gestalt says, please, you mustn't be so hard on yourself. Should we resort to evacuating the people of Atheris, they will most certainly have need of your attire. 'Tis clear you spared no effort in addressing our needs, but you must understand that we are not quite so homogeneous. Speaking for myself, what I wear now better suits my tastes, even if it is an inferior make. But there are others whose choices may be influenced by traditions or personal experience. Rather than make assumptions of the whole, you must consider the individual and their potential preferences. Livingway says, I fear we've underestimated the complexity and diversity of your people. Sigh. Even if we'd memorized every tome we've received, I doubt we'd have fared much better. Maybe we're doing you a disservice trying to shower you with our baubles and frippery, thinking it was for your benefit when you'd be better off on your own. Tancred says, there are some who might agree. People who prefer to keep others at arm's length, even when they know they shouldn't. As one such former fool, I'd like to ask you a question. This plan to evacuate and escape the final days, did it account for the reflections of the source as well? Living Wheat says, not that I'm aware of. We were born of Heidelin's love for Atheris and the salvation of the people of the star, and that star alone has ever been our aim. Surely it's better to devote ourselves to saving one world than to divide our efforts across 14 and risk failing them all? Oh dear. Tancred says, I suppose you're right. Ishtala says, Livingway, might we have leave to explore Bestway Burrows unattended? You've given us much to think about. Why, certainly. Until later then, Ishtala says. I can understand Thancred's concerns. Uriangia says, if I may, I would like to accompany thee a while longer. Really? Livingway says. I mean, you're more than welcome to. There was actually something I wished to speak with you about. Let's be off then, shall we? Fidgeting Leopard goes, huh, speak with a fidgeting Loperet. Where is it? Alright, over there. Let's go talk to this little guy. Or gal. Ah, my apologies. I wasn't trying to spy or anything. Everyone's been talking about the visitors come from Atheris, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. I was excited at first, but now I'm worried. What if the people of Atheris refuse to come? What if we can't save them? It's clear we've made a mess of things. Oh, but wait, you still haven't visited the domiciles. Once you see them, you'll understand how wonderful the moon truly is, I'm sure of it. I'll be waiting for you at the teleporter near the entrance. Oh, and the name's Growing Way, by the way. See you soon. Okie dokie then. Let's head back to the entrance, I guess. Just try to skirt around. And head up these stair-like ramp. Bumpity 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 bump bump bump. And we're careening right along here. Do 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 do. All right. Vroom. Woo. Teleporter? Or is this so-called teleporter? Ah, there we go. Growing Way. Is activating that thing, apparently. Alright, Growing Way. Growing Way says, "You're here! You're really here!" Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry, what should I call you? Ah, okay, crikey, even your names are amazing. Well, we'll be using this teleporter to enter the residential area. Whenever you're ready. Alright, let's go to the residential area.
Ready in the teleporter. Huh? Access to living quarters restricted due to reconstruction. Then where is it? Oh no!
A private audience, as thou didst request, for reasons I know not.
Just a precaution. I'd rather I didn't have to ask the question at all, but I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. Do you and your friends, by any chance, find our accommodation wanting? Be honest, brutally even.
'Twould be ungracious of me to belittle the efforts of thee and thine.
Lovely sentiment, really. But the disappointment is writ plain on your comrades' faces. It's all the more frustrating since no one will come out and say what they find wanting. If there are faults in our work, we need to know. We can, we will do better. But time is not on our side. The final days will wait for no one. If your people are to be saved, we must take quick and decisive action. vessel must serve as a home for as many passengers as possible, for far longer than we may like. Which brings me to my request. Our collaborators on Atheris are doing what they can to prepare for the voyage. Would you be willing to go and lend them a hand? Having seen the moon for yourself, you could speak to its many splendors, learn what else they might require, and assuage whatever concerns they have.
Wherefore wouldst thou entrust me with such a task?
How to put it? You're the only one who appears not to be wholly unsatisfied with our work. Oh, quite good at pretending that's the case, at least. Calm, collected, tactful to a fault. Very particular with your words, too.
Even the rabbits find how he talks strange.
You understand that, in the face of great danger, one cannot pursue perfection at the expense of practicality. The difficult choices must often be made for the greater good.
That's true. They've got him to rights there.
And so fate doth conspire to set my feet upon this path once more.
Come again?
Idle musings. 'Tis no trifle thou dost ask, yet full well do I understand the urgency and necessity.
Oh, dear me! Dear me! I was terribly sorry for the mix-up. It's a bit of a malfunction. I hadn't realized the residential quarters were inaccessible, you see. But you're still in one piece. So, all's well that ends well, yes? Won't happen again. I promise.
Curiouser and curiouser. Alright, let's talk to Growing Way again. Growing Way says, "Gosh, that was embarrassing. I promise to be more careful from now on. Since the residential quarters are closed for now, I've rerouted the teleporter to allow travel between floors instead. Hopefully it proves useful in the meantime." Shame you couldn't see it. Though, you really would have liked it. Alright, so we'll complete that quest. You can now travel between the upper and lower floors of Bestway Burrows using the teleporter. Alright. And talking to Growing Way again, Growing Way is keen to put his recent mishap behind him. It may not seem like it, but we've been planning for this far longer than I'd care to admit. Each time we woke up, we'd have long discussions about how to save as many of you as we can. Felt like everyone had an opinion on this or that. But the one thing we all agreed upon was that the people of Atheris wouldn't take action to save themselves until it was far too late. That's why we're striving to make the moon a vibrant, magical place they'd hop at the chance to visit, rather than waiting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. The residential quarters may not be up to the necessary standards just yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You've already had a look at the Caratorium, but wait until you see what's waiting for you on the east end of the burrow. Follow me. All's Vale to Ends Vale is the name of this quest. Cute. Alright, let's go check out this East End. We'll take the teleporter. There we go. Alright. Let's head east. Through that big door over there. Oh, not through it. Right there. There's Growing Way. Alright. Good. You're here. Through this door is Greatest Ends Vale. It was named as such because it's the Vale to end all vales, the most beautiful forest you'll ever see. We understand the people of Aetheris enjoy taking leisurely walks through natural spaces and the like, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a nice stroll to the fountain? This way. Okay. That rabbit moves pretty quick. Reading way, grinding way. Oh my goodness, that's a gray carrot. This is a forest. Interesting what they think of a forest as. Alright, let's see here. And Growing Way says, "So, what do you think of the forest? Isn't it positively pleasant, simply sublime?" I couldn't see the forest or the trees. I didn't see any. Wait, you don't mean those crystals out there are, or tis in a transcendent. Tis as transcendent as burying your face in a chocobo's plumage and taking a good long whiff. Yeah, middle one. Right you are. Our forest is made of crystals and constructs, dotting the landscapes as far as the eye can see. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we've never seen trees in person before, let alone a forest. The information sent by our collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees. And thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air as clean as you'd find in a forest on Aetheris. The fountain here behind us, powered by the large crystal adorning its top, plays a vital role in supplying us with fresh water. Much time and effort was spent making it the most spherical of spheres, and I dare say the unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. Okie dokie that. So those are what they are using in place of trees. Okay. I enjoy nothing more than a nice, good stretch. Nice long stretch. And a spot of relaxation whenever I come up here. You look like you could do with a stretch yourself. welcome to the stream. I'm nowhere near as entertaining as any of those folks, but I'm glad to have you here. Alright, so need to stretch for growing way. That's the spirit, Growing Way says. I feel more relaxed simply watching you. A sight worth the many years spent building this place. If it's not too much to ask, it's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through the forest with someone from Atheris. Could we, maybe? Alright, Growing Way. Sure, I guess we could take a walk. Growing Way gasps. You will? Oh, be still my quivering whiskers. Growing Way is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. Okay. And blah blah blah. All the explanation about keeping him close and doing the things. Alright. So let's go. Weave our way past these critters. There we go. There's a little spot glowing over here. And there we go. Alright, let's talk to him again. He says, I was thinking that I could be more helpful to you by teaching you a little about the moon and what it is that we do. When we were first created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiark, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually, Heidelin gave us our first task, furnish the moon with propulsion systems capable of facilitating travel to other stars. It sounds impressive, and I suppose in some respects it is, but it was only possible thanks to all the knowledge Heidelin shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done. 6,000 years, give or take. But anyway, let's keep going. Alright. And there's another glowy spot, so let's go top there. And then that's an optional one off to the left. Alright, let's talk here. Growing Way says, this may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin building the habitable areas until after the propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we started sooner. Who would have thought we'd need 4,000 years to make all this? It certainly wasn't work you'd dare rush either. We had to create infrastructure and countless support systems, some of which wouldn't be operational until hundreds of years later. And then there was that brief period where our productivity came to a screeching halt when that bizarre red satellite was sent up from Atheris, the Allegan's mischief, I think. We thought maybe some new, nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiark. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. I can't tell you how relieved we were when Heidelin informed us of its destruction. Oh yes, there was much joyous humming that day. Okay. Next one's over there. Let's go to the optional. And Growing Way. Ask if you could taste the rainbow crystal. Yeah. What? No! I'm not sure that is what you do. I'm not sure what it is you do with crystals on Atheris, but we don't eat them, and certainly not this one. It's possessed of all 6 elements. Wind, lightning, fire, earth, ice, and water. We use crystals like these to maintain the moon's elemental equilibrium. It's worth mentioning, though, that because of Heidelin's influence, being the embodiment of tranquility and stasis and all, manipulating the elements here is different than it might be on Atheris. A conjuring of fire would sooner dry your clothes than singe them, for example. Put simply, the etheric conditions are ill-suited to growth, which is why the surface is mostly barren. Of course, this was all necessary to keep the raging energies of Zodiac in check. Okay, let's go find that other spot again. Come on, little bunny. Alright, so we're almost there. Now what, bud? Alright. Growingway says, say, do you notice anything peculiar about the treetops? I mean, apart from the fact that they're massive crystals and not trees. Growingway says, I'll give you a hint. It's the golden rings emanating from the glowing spheres. Along with a device fixed to the ceiling, they fulfill a role similar to our sun. And do so better, even. The sun and similar celestial objects in the great expanse radiate energy that is harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from the energy while allowing you to bathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather, a close approximation of it. Very impressive, wouldn't you say? Oh, and if you look closely, you'll see different types of trees. Have ever so slightly different curvature. Yes, indeed. This forest truly is the greatest. Huh. Alright, so, yeah, you had me a little confused there, Gleep. Alright, so let's go to the next spot. What more is there to... Yeah, these are interesting for sure. Pretty. Alright, Growingway says, there was something else I wanted to tell you about. Oh, right. The propulsion system and habitat facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that, the most important features were fit for purpose. Which was all well and good, except we still knew absolutely nothing about the present-day people of Atheris. Why not go and visit Atheris yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Strictly forbidden. Were our technology or knowledge of the moon's true purpose exploited for evil ends, the results could be disastrous. Then there were a few more rejoinings, and it became increasingly difficult to converse with Heidelin. Fearful we might lose the ability to communicate with her altogether, we beseeched her to find people on Atheris who we could trust to help. We were quite fortunate everything worked out as it did. Uh-huh. Alright, next spot. Let's continue along this path then. Here we go. Alright, what do you got to say now? Hopefully that thing's far enough away it doesn't jump me. Alright, there we go. Growingway says, with the exception of routine inspections and maintenance, we remained asleep and waited. Hopeful Heidelin would find someone who could help us. Eventually, she did, and though her power was waning, we were able to speak with them directly for a short while. We shared with them everything we could, including our knowledge of the heavens and a means to travel here to the moon. They certainly didn't waste any time with what they taught us. No more than a few years after that, our collaborators found a means to convey messages and supplies to us from down below. With all the letters, books, and other resources they sent, we learned enough to start making more meaningful changes to the moon. And now you're here, hopefully enjoying yourself as much as I am. I knew you'd like the greatest Enval. I knew it! Thank you again for coming here, by the way. I know it was just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot to me. Yushala says, there you are. Thancred says, I take it you've already received the Grand Tour. A shame we missed it. Another voice that's not defined says, Growing Way. I've been looking all over for you. Ah. It's Living Way again. Growing Way says, Oh, is this about the teleporter to the residential area? Hello, Rainbow Unicorn Farts. What a name. Thanks for hitting the like button. Much appreciated. Alright, Living Way says, No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. Living Way says, I will be calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. I always read these guys as being absolutely chipper, even when they're being serious. Growing Way says, Really? I can't imagine why you'd need me there, but if you insist. Living Way says, we won't be away long, so you all are more than welcome to continue looking around the burrow. Now come along, Growing Way. Alright, so let's check this out. What are we going to do next? Y'shtola says, Before we arrived, you seemed to be in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn anything of import? Well, hello, kitty cat. Yes, hello, little girl. Hi. Yeah. Thancred says they've spent 12,000 years preparing for this. With the appointed hour fast approaching, I can certainly understand their restlessness, but still. Y'shtola says, It remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when there are yet no signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are many who would readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Thancred says, Whoever these collaborators are, unless they're possessed of the world's most charming personalities or a means to forcibly evacuate people, they will meet with a great deal of resistance. Yes, that's Smurfa, alright. Indeed, Y'shtola says, Even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. Hi, kitty cat. Yeah? Hello, my little girl. Aren't you such a sweetheart? Yes, you are. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave, Urianger says. There's another matter which yet begs my attention. Thancred says, Of course we can accompany you if you like. Urianger says, Nay, that will not be necessary. If you will excuse me. Alright, Thancred says, What do you suppose has suddenly tickled his fancy? Alright, Y'shtola says, "'Tis clear, now, that difficult decisions lie ahead of us. Preparation for the evacuation of Aetheris is indeed crucial, but I am not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections, and I trust I'm not alone in my riddance." Alright, complete that. Talk to Thancred again. Back to old tricks. By now, Thancred can tell that when his friends are up to something. Thancred says, "Did Urianger seem strange to you? More so than usual, I mean." I know he has a penchant for keeping his own counsel, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Would you go and see if he's alright? Y'shtola and I will remain here and see what else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, perhaps we can catch up to him. Alright. Hurrying means call for the motorcycle. Hey, Boop, how you doing? All good. Alright, so... let's go find Urianger. Surfing Way. I love these names! And Snapping Way? Ooh. Skirt around that one. Alright, up we go. Mopping Way. Yeah. Okay. Or Moping Way, whatever. One or the other. Anyway. Alright, so off we go, and... right up here. That's the destination. It's glittering on my map. Let's get in here. Looking around. There he goes. Urianger appears to be heading towards the entrance to Bestway Burrow. Alright. So, head up to the entrance then. I probably should have used the teleporter, but eh. And there's that destination. Alright, let's see here. What is he up to? Urianger ventures off into Marilamatorium for reasons unknown. You must tread carefully, else he might sense your presence. Oh great, I've got to stealth follow him, don't I? That's right. I hate these stealthy ones. Follow Urianger from a safe distance. The objective will end in failure if you are noticed or if you fall too far behind. Should you fail to complete the objective, you may try again by returning to the designated location. Alright. Just to make my life easier in case I do screw this up, the designated location's down here. Make a little marker for myself. Who's there, he says. You can't possibly see me. I am way down here behind a big old rock. Quit running, old man. He's wary still. Get up behind that rock before he gets too far. Alright. Made it. Alright.
Thine arrival is timely as ever. Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Living Way, I presume? 'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again. Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity? When Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life, I was complicit in the scheme. A sacrifice averted for a mercy. Would that I could say the same for Menphilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain, brokered by my hand, were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine her beloved daughter. Two souls, whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward. No effort did I make to seek out alternatives, ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction. Dearest Moonbrider, who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians. In her hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today.
Man is so full of regrets. I know back in ARR, I absolutely hated him. He just made me rage. But he's grown on me. Definitely have some empathy for him these days.
Selfish wants, born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning, one which must never again come to pass. Thus must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity?
What do I have to say to that? Sometimes there's no right answer. Have faith in yourself and your decisions. Take heart and protect well those you can, or would that we had time to weigh the costs. sometimes there's no right answer.
I am not alone in my discomfort, then? 'Tis surprising, though perhaps not. We Scions are wont to debate strategy at length, but are resolute and unwavering in execution. Strange. Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly. I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrit's proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond. 'Twould be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers. A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
What are they saying? Curse these ears! I've heard bugger all! No matter. We've got our plans.
Oh, goodness. Well, let's speak to Urianger. He says, in truth, my reason for traveling hither was to effect a plan of mine own. A plan which may pave a way forward for us all. May, I say, for there is no guarantee of success. 'Tis the reason I set out alone. That failure, should it come, would be mine to bear alone. Yet thou standest before me with proffered hand and open heart. 'Twould be remiss of me to refuse thy amity, and so I ask, wouldst thou join me in my endeavor? Sure thing. Alright, Urianger is quite glad for your company. I thank thee for accompanying me. 'Tis a simple plan, in truth. We shall not be long away from Bestway's burrow. Difficult decisions must needs be made in the coming days, but I nevertheless believe we are all of one mind in our desire to save the people of Atheris. To make clear our resolve to the Loporrits, I would offer them a gift, but its making doth require a most singular ingredient. Wow. Alright. Let's head on over here then. Let's go find it. Urianger, you're looking at something. Ah. Those again. Ah, an abundance of sponge. Excellent. I chanced to spy this aggregation when crossing Zodiark's Urwist prison. Using a spell taught to me by the Nomu, I believe these shall suffice for the gift I would fashion. The magic requireth considerable concentration, however. Might I prevail upon thee to stand watch whilst I perform the incantation? Okay. Where does he need me to stand? Somewhere here. There we go. Hear of another one. Alright. And back to the destination. Alright. Surveying the nearby area, you see no signs of potential threats. This would be a good opportunity to see how Arianji's faring. Alright. So let's go check him. Okay. Nothing saying. Seems fixated on his work. Arianji says, "There, 'tis done." Arianji says, "A magic ink. Every ounce as efficacious as the crafted by the Nomu. Rare is the occasion I would conjure my own, but it is nevertheless a most useful skill. The resulting product is admittedly possessed of no preternatural properties, but its hue is one of mine own choosing, which I pray the Loporets will appreciate." Hey, Lith, Urianje. Oh, thank goodness. I thought you had been eaten, or perhaps fallen into a crater. Livingway says, "Y'shtola has been looking all over for you. She says she needs to speak with you about something most urgent, dire even." Livingway says she was also quite clear that she wishes to speak with Lith alone, which means, I'm afraid, you must stay behind, Urianje. But worry not. It just so happens we need your help with an errand, delivering a package from the Watcher's Palace to Bestway's Burrow. It's quite large and heavy, perhaps even too heavy for we poor Loporets, and we would be ever so grateful if you would lend us a hand. Alright, what do I say? Well, I suppose I should be going then. How about an extra pair of hands before we go and meet with Stola? Or, that's convenient. Suspiciously convenient. We're gonna go with that's convenient. Suspiciously convenient. Livingway says, "Are you insinuating I would betray the trust of Heidelin's Chosen, or worse, do anything to risk getting on Y'shtola's bad side? She's clearly not one to be crossed, nor made to wait. Now, off with you." Oriana says, "Worry not. I shan't be long." Alright, time to go to speak with Y'shtola. I'm gonna be a lazy bones and actually teleport down into there. And then head over. Alright, so here we go. Let's go find her. Definitely don't want to make her wait. Alright. Y'shtola says, "Ah, we thought you would be away for far longer." "A dire emergency? I said no such thing. But as you are here, I could use your assistance with one small matter. Running Way, a companion of Growing Ways, apparently has much to tell us of the final days. The problem, however, is that he is determined to live up to his name, refusing to stay still long enough for us to hold a conversation. Tancred says, is there anywhere he's likely to stop and rest? Or perhaps there's a way to slow him down? Growing Way says, what's the rush? I was thinking we could wait here, maybe enjoy a cold mug of carrot juice and... No? Oh, well, if it's really that important, you can try using these balls of moose flesh. Not to be confused with the other thing. Running Way's other notable feature is its incessant chatter, so you'll have no trouble finding him in a crowd. And when you do, try lobbing the balls at him. Y'shtola says crude, but if it proves effective, he was here in Greatest Endval when last I saw him. Let us split up and find him. Alright. Designated location, huh? Running indeed. There's my destination. Search your surroundings for Running Way. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out, target him, and throw with the mouse. Fun. Unassuming Loperet, that's not one that's running. Running Way. Ow! That's smart. If this was meant as a joke, it isn't funny. Yes, I'm Running Way. Do you mind explaining why you hit me in the face with your balls of moose flesh? I'm highly knowledgeable about the final days? Ha! That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard since I woke up. Who told you that joke? As if we've got time to look into the final days when there's so much to do before the Great Voyage. It's true that Heidelin did impart us with knowledge of the event, but I know about as much as any other Loperet around here. Less, probably. I don't know why anyone would think it's funny to go around telling people I'm an expert, but they'd better hope I don't get my paws on them. Running Way says, sorry, I couldn't be more help, but if there's nothing else, I've work to do. And I'm off. Huh. Alright, let's go back to Y'shtola. Alright, Y'shtola. Y'shtola says I could find neither hide nor hair of him. How did you fare? So he knows no more than the others, she says. Y'shtola says, care to explain yourself, Growing Way? Growing Way says, well, you see, oh. I misremembered. Yes, that's it. I misremembered. Terribly sorry about that. Uh-huh. Afraid I'm drawing a blank, though. Try as I might, I can't remember who I was thinking of. Thancred says, on an unrelated note, what about Urianger? I assume you spoke with him earlier, but did he say when he'll be returning? On his way to the Watcher's Palace with Livingway, Thancred says. Thancred says, between Growingway's sudden lapse in memory and our lack of other leads, maybe our time would be better spent lending Urianger a hand. Growingway says, what? Now, hold on a moment. Growingway says, it's all coming back to me. Yes, I remember. The information you're looking for is in the archives. Yes, that's where you'll find all sorts of useful information, including that pertaining to the final days. Okay. Let's talk to Growingway again. Oh, we're going to get an aether current from this. Growingway is fidgeting with nervous energy, but is it from excitement or worry? Growingway says, oh, what to do? What to do? I promised Livingway I would help, but... Growingway says, no, I promised I'd help. So that's what I'll do. The archives are on the second floor of the main plaza, the eastern wing. Follow me. Ishtala says, I suspect the Loporits are up to something, but if there is aught to be learned of the final days, then it's best we play along. For now, at least. Alright, let's go play along. Back and forth, back and forth. Feel like a regular old dog's body. And while I'm thinking about it, let's remove that marker from earlier. I don't need that now. Upper floors. Oh, I will pick up that quest later. Let's use the teleporter. And get back on my bike. Talk to Thancred first. Thancred says the architecture of this place is impressive, though more than a little confusing to navigate. Is it too much to ask for clearly marked exits, or a map, perhaps? Ishtala is looking at Growingway a little sternly here. I almost feel sorry for this rabbit. Alright, what's she say? What other knowledge do you suppose we might glean from their archives? Alright, let's find out. Growingway. Growingway says the archives are right through this door, but it seems to be locked. I guess we'll just have to go and find whoever has the key. Ishtala says, Growingway, enough. If you have naught else to tell us of the final days, you need only say so. We can ill afford to be wasting time here, as you well know. Did you yourselves not tell us we must act quickly? Growingway says, yes, we did, but the moon was to be a perfect paradise for the people of Aetheris, and we're running out of time to make everything ready for their arrival. We hoped you'd see the wonders we had to offer, but you've found nothing but faults and flaws in our work. Only one of you saw our potential, so you others must be kept here. Thancred says, ah, so that's Living Way's game. Run us around in circles, and failing that, lock us away so we can't put the plan at risk. Everyone except Urianje. Growingway says, he understands what is at stake, what must be done. Y'shtola says, I fear you've misjudged us, Growingway. Never have we decried the notion of using the moon as a means of escape. That said, my heart breaks at the thought of abandoning Aetheris and her reflections to their doom. If there is a way to avert the final days, I wish to find it. We all do. We may fail, but our efforts would never be to the expense of your plans. Growingway says, but why would you take that risk? There's no room for ifs and maybes now. The people of Aetheris will escape here to the moon. They'll be safe, and we'll finally get to see all their happy, smiling faces. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave. We just can't. Growingway says, do what you must, but try not to hurt them. Growingway says, I'll be back in a moment. Don't do anything rash while I'm gone. Oh, boy. Thancred says, if we dally, they'll overwhelm us with sheer numbers. I say we knock these ones out, split up, and make our way to the exit. Y'shtola says, agreed. Let us reconvene where Argos awaits outside. Some little bunny foo-foo time? Definitely. Alright. Ow, that hurt. Reinforcements. Alright. Too strong. And Growingway. Aw, Growingway. Come on. Don't make me hurt you. Fire and Moonstone. So, Growingway is a black mage? Alright, speak to Y'shtola. Alright, let's head around so that we can head out. That should be the door that I need. big old door. Alright. I'll talk to Thancred first. Thancred says, there you are. Didn't roughen them up too badly, did you? And Y'shtola says, good, you're here. We must hurry to the Watcher's Palace and find Urianger.
And what, pray tell, do we seek at the Watcher's Palace?
Oh, come off it, friend. You know full well why we're here. The time has come for you to return to Etheris and help your brethren prepare for their journey here and beyond.
Forgive me, Living Way, but I cannot in good conscience proceed with this plan.
Huh? But what about the final days? The death and the doom? Oh, we have to hurry before it's too late.
Your unflagging commitment to your duty is endearing, to say the least.
Oh, bugger!
Be at ease. They bear you no grudge, nor do I. How could we, having come to understand your purpose? For millennia, you and yours worked tirelessly towards the singular purpose of this heavenly vessel's construction. An arduous feat by any measure. 'Tis clear you have spared no effort. Why, your very names are a testament to your dedication.
Our names? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
He is so kind to these little bunnies.
Names are an expression of the self, a declaration of one's hopes and aspirations. Your use of contemporary, uncomplicated nomenclature doth ensure clarity of purpose. There can be no doubt that your love for the people of Etheris is boundless and pure.
Yes! Yes! A most mellifluous phrasing! We Loporrits were born of Hydaelyn's love for Etheris. That shining, shimmering blue jewel, brightest star in the sky, brimming with life and possibilities. For as long as I can remember, I've toiled in anticipation of the day when this vessel might be needed.
Alright, so Mapping Way's voice makes me think of the Nomu. Just putting that out there.
All I've ever wanted was to meet those she cherished so dearly. To serve and serve well. That goes for all of us. Don't you see? So help us. Help us help them. Lead them here where we can keep them safe. If there's anything wrong with what we've built, we'll fix it. We'll make it right.
Your works want not for repair. Yet there remaineth much for you to learn of men and your own kin besides. Singing Way, thy name bespeaketh more than the simple marriage of rhythm and rhyme. The songs of Etheris are beyond counting, and span the length and breadth of emotion. Maps are monuments to man's pioneering spirit and his devotion to charting the furthest reaches of our star. Many have devoted their lifetimes to exploratory pursuits, to venture unto the highest mountains and the deepest oceans in search of unknown frontiers. And thou, my friend, I do not think we've met.
My name is Puddingway.
Puddingway? Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure, but one perhaps better communicated through delicious deeds than tasteless words. A judicious application of fey magics at a later juncture may be appropriate. And living way. 'Tis no easy feat to convey the significance of thy moniker. When I was a bookish boy, a dear friend of mine was fond of peppering me with questions as I read, to my occasional annoyance. One day, I posed to her a question of mine own. What doth it mean to live? After much contemplation, she proffered this answer: the anticipation of a half-read story's conclusion. The hope today's mistake may serve as tomorrow's lesson. The wish that a new acquaintance may one day call thee friend. She believed it to be all these moments and more.
I want to understand, but
I, too, still labour to find mine own answer. 'Twould be my pleasure to assist you and yours in embarking on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. For thee.
Oh, that is pretty. I want one.
Ink as blue as the waters of Aetheris. Made in haste, though I assure thee, the quality has not suffered for it. The people need not be persuaded by honeyed words. Nay, I have faith they shall do what is right in due course. Until they do, I beg your patience, friends. And with that ink, let us fill the empty pages of Livingway's compendium. An open exchange of ideas will surely afford you all a better understanding of modern man, and with it, ideas for improvements and renovations. But more importantly, it shall empower us to together find a way forward.
I hope you're right. Thank you for this lovely gift.
There you have it. I shall remain with the Loporrits to ensure that all is in order. Though we must needs prepare for every eventuality, you would all agree that the evacuation of our star is a last resort. To accept failure is to accept the demise not only of our star, but that of Reen's, of all reflections, and the souls that call them home. Which is why I have every faith that you shall fight to the last, that such drastic measures may prove unnecessary.
Should the worst come to the worst, and I pray deeply that it won't, I'll take comfort in knowing preparations were made under your watchful eye.
Aye, thou mayest be assured that if calamity cometh, not a soul will be left behind, if being the operative term.
And our mood flower. The Watcher says, that flower, how came it into your possession? The Watcher says, how very like her. How very like Heidelin. Huh. Guided by its light, you may come to know her true intentions. Intentions which remain a mystery even to us. In our time, we called it Elpis. You would do well to remember the name.
I hate to interrupt, but I feel like I need to make amends for all the secrecy.
Think nothing of it. We haven't been the most gracious of guests. Do convey our apologies to Growingway and the others.
But of course! And when next we welcome more guests from Atheris, we'll have learned to be much more hospitable hosts. Oh, and circling back to the matter of inappropriate secrecy, we ought to discuss our benefactors.
Agreed. The Charlayan Forum, yes?
What? How did you know?
The more I heard, the more obvious it became. The Forum's aims align closely with those of your anonymous patrons. A telling coincidence would be an understatement. Though had we not taken it upon ourselves to peruse certain restricted tones in Labyrinthos, we might still be unaware of their plans. But let us continue this discussion upon our return. I dare say we have kept Alphino and the others waiting long enough.
It seems our time here on the moon is growing short again. Alright, Urianger says, "'Twas a relief to see Livingway, as pleased with my gift of ink. To serve and serve well. Though their knowledge may be lacking, their boundless love is a blessing without peer. It will be no easy task to prepare them for what must needs be done. But gladly do I embrace this duty, even if it doth necessitate that we part ways for a time. Forgive me my absence, but I have the utmost faith in you, in all our fellow scions. When next I return to Atheris, I pray I find you all in good health and good spirits." Alright, heart of the matter. And we'll talk to Y'shtala again. Returning home is the name of the quest. Your excursion to the moon concluded, Y'shtala is keen to return to Atheris. Y'shtala says, "With the Lubrits in Urianger's capable hands, we needn't worry about affairs here in our absence. Knowing now the face of their earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphino and the others. Let us return to the Tower of Babel. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared." Alright, speak with Thancred at the Nether Gate. Alright, let's head back over. Ooh, we got all sorts of stuff to avoid. There's another gate. Well, we'll talk to Yshtela first. Yshtela says, I'd forgotten how cold it was here in Garlemald. A testament to the Loperit's ingenuity that I felt no such discomfort on the moon. Egrid says, Gods, I can scarcely believe we went to the moon and back. But we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now, we need to head back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd like very much to know how everyone is getting on there as well. They'd only just begun to treat the tempered prisoners when we left. Yshtela says, I share your curiosity, but warning our allies of the final days is of greater importance. I speak not only of the contingent, of course. The heads of state of every nation must know what we've learned. We know not when or where or in what manner the final days will begin to manifest, and so we must see that everyone is prepared. Thancred says, agreed, though we may wish to stress the importance of discretion, lest the public be set into a panic. Not that anyone in a position of responsibility should need to be told as much, but it bears repeating. Anyway, first things first, to Camp Broken Glass. I'm gonna be cold. Alright, let's just teleport on over. Save the walk. And we're gonna wrap up pretty soon. We'll leave that alone for now. We're just going to continue on with the MSQ. Let's go talk to Lucia. It's like this other person's doing the MSQ too. Lucia says, it's good to see you all again. No worse for your lunar adventure, I hope. Thancred says, we've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before we do, might you tell us what's become of Garlemald in our absence? Lucia says, we've succeeded in subduing the tempered inside the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. I imagine so. The inclement conditions have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, and so we've petitioned the aid of the allied nations. Some are, understandably, hesitant to proffer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to imperial occupation. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. Lucia continues to say, with the assistance of your fellow scions, we endeavor to see them safely transported and subsequently cured of their tempering. Yshtela says, will all the tempered be relocated? Lucia says, not all, no. We have sufficient shelter to attend to those whose treatments have begun, and enough healers have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Euless is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alphino and Alisae's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be with us today. Thancred says, in light of the recent developments, have the Alliance leaders come to any decisions regarding Garlemald? No? Lucia says, given the tremendous ramifications of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep in close watch over the provinces. Lucia says, we have other news to share. Shortly after Anima was defeated, we received reports that each and every tower has vanished. For a mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as that you experienced in Thavnir. Those who were trapped within them have been rescued and are receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavor, the beast tribes have received instruction in the magics needed to cure tempering. Mishala says Master Matoya is no doubt thrilled the Mother Proxy affords her so many visitors. Lucia says yes. We are grateful for her ongoing efforts, as well as those of our comrades near and far. As for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands after the transfer of Tempered has been completed. Maxima says Lucia and I will remain, along with a small force, to continue offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Empire may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. Lucia says, I believe that accounts for recent events here. So, what of the moon and the Telophoroi? Alright. So we're gonna regale them with all that went on. And Lucia says, the final days, gods, I prayed our victory would mark the end of our troubles. Ishtal says, there is still much we do not know. But the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Lucia says, yes, of course. I'll send word forthwith. We'll also release your fellow Scions from their present duties, that they may return to Charlayan. Your energies are better spent finding a means to avert the coming apocalypse. Maxima says, speaking of your fellow Scions, you will be happy to hear that Mistress Kryle, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Baldacian Annex and given into Tataru's care. Y'shtola says, thank you. I look forward to seeing them both upon our return. Let us be on our way then, Thancred says. Maxima says, one last thing, if I may. Maxima continues, after your confrontation with Zodiark, you said Xenos took his leave, and in all likelihood he has returned here to Garlemald. I have a mind to dispatch scouts to try and ascertain his whereabouts, but first wish to ask if you believe there is merit in doing so. What am I going to say? Let's see, if they found him, they would not likely live to tell the tale, or if you're expecting a trail of destruction to follow, you won't find one, or an admirable but futile endeavor. I'm going to say an admirable but futile endeavor. Maxima says, mayhap you're right. And I suppose if anyone is to hunt him down, it must be you. Who else could even hope to bring low that monster? Pray, forget I entertained the notion. While on the subject of Xenos, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounce the Crown Prince and condemn his role in the Empire's downfall. His very title has been become a source of shame among his former subjects, and its continued use serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he has been declared as Xenos Viator Galvus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. Y'shtola says Fandaniel is no more, and now his own people turn against him. It seems he's not but his bloodlust to keep him company. Maximus says, better that than an army to see it sated. At any rate, I will not keep you longer. I pray you safe passage back to Charlayan. Oh, hello, kitty. Alright, speak with Kryl at the Baldacian Annex. So, I think this is a good point to leave off for today. And with any luck, I will have another Final Fantasy stream in the coming week. At least one. It won't be tomorrow, and it will not be on Tuesday. But Wednesday looks good for it if all things work out with how my schedule is with things away from the keyboard. So thank you everyone for hanging out, and I'm going to bid you adieu now. Until next time, love y'all loads, stay awesome, and bye for now.